And now we have the Chapter 2 boss fight. All of Chapter 2 takes place in the Bamboo Forest, so if you're aware of the events in Imperishable Night, you could probably guess who this boss might be. We have Kaguya and Mokou. Now the thing about most boss fights in this game is that they're almost always a pair of bosses, usually on the same side, but this one they're fighting against each other. So you're pretty much stuck in the middle of their battle. And both of them will become vulnerable at different points. And what I'm doing here is I'm putting Marissa in ambush mode right on top of Kaguya. There's actually a safe spot right where her bullets come out. So you can pretty much just sit there the entire time, never take damage. And then just hit her when she becomes vulnerable after a couple of seconds. Now you can hit Mokou too during this card, but when she becomes vulnerable it's much more difficult to deal damage to her. So I just generally sit on top of Kaguya and hit her when she becomes vulnerable. Now for this card, she'll always fire her laser. I'm not trying to abuse the Mimi here, it's just whatever. She'll always fire her laser in Mokou's direction. Mokou will try to follow whichever character that you're using so that Kaguya will hit her. And I mean, it's not a very difficult attack to dodge. You just have to make sure you don't get hit by the round bullets that come out when Kaguya fires. If you can do that, you'll be fine. Now here I'm having a terrible time trying to combo on her, so ignore that please. Now, the other interesting thing about this card is that sometimes Kaguya will actually hit Mokou and deal a fair amount of damage to her. I'll show really quick, hold on. Now as you guys have probably already noticed, when one of the two bosses get hit here, the other one will start laughing and make them vulnerable, and you want to take advantage of that as much as possible. Here, you just want to make sure you stay under one of the platforms so that the bullets that come out after Mokou hits the ground don't hit you while you're trying to hit Kaguya or Mokou herself. Here I always start with Marissa's laser because it'll usually hit Kaguya after it hits Mokou, and it'll do damage to both of them. And it will double up the damage since you're hitting both characters, by the way. But this is probably the most, well no, this is an okay card for difficulty. This last one's probably the most difficult if you don't know when they're going to become vulnerable. Fortunately I do, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Kaguya becomes vulnerable right there, but I didn't want to like end this card right away. I actually ended up getting hit by Mokou because of it. Mokou's Phoenix will do a shitload of damage to you if you let the whole thing hit you. So just be careful of that. But if you let them go on for long enough, they collide in the middle like that, and both become vulnerable. There's no reason to let it go like that all the way till the end unless you really don't know when they become vulnerable. Here I messed up my combo on Mokou, so I decided to hit Kaguya as much as I could. But yeah, they just keep going around in circles trying to hit each other. When you're dealing with this card, you want to make sure you keep your secondary character out of the line of fire when you're switching, or else you'll get your combo interrupted almost immediately. But yeah, that's the fourth spell card, and then to end this battle, in a very fitting way, they kill each other again. So that's it for the second boss fight. Nothing really else to say about it. I will see you guys for the third one.